What's going on with y'all? It's your boy Mom 92, and today I want to just talk about a couple of the cars that I'm kind of looking into for the next rotation coming up. Um, just kind of cars that I can kind of see myself playing, or things that I might think is good. It's really gonna be four particular cars in general. This is just part one, and we're gonna kind of do this a little bit as time goes on, as we keep looking up things and just talk about the cars along the way. So let's go ahead and get to it. So for the first card I want to look at is Cerulege EX. Cerulege EX is a Terra Pokemon, and it's really the attack Abyssal Flames that I'm looking at. This attack does 20 more damage for each energy card in your discard pile. So Cerulege came out, and it was kind of like a meme deck, this and that. As time goes on, it's becoming more and more real. Every time I fight this deck, I'm thinking to myself, oh man, how much energy do they have in the discard pile? 270 is not a crazy amount of HP, but it's enough to withstand a lot of attacks and to be able to attack for, at some point, 300 plus. And then you get that every single time you evolve with one energy. Just depends on how many energies you have in your discard pile. It's pretty ridiculous. I fought some Ceruleges and it's just like, oh my God, like you just know you're dead as soon as you kill this one. He's gonna come up with this one energy, boom, and smack you right back down. And it doesn't take a lot. Like once it's set up, it's just good. You know what I mean? Like one energy, it's not taking a lot after that. And I think that it's gonna be one of those cards that it's gonna be really, really tough to look at for. I like to play ramp. As well as control. And I think this could be a really, really good ramp deck. Just you ramp up, get your damage, and then if you could survive to the late game. And now they have things like Badoo, and they're adding some more cards to slow it. They want the game to be a little bit slower. I think this is going to be a really good card, and I'm kind of looking forward to trying this card out. So yeah, I think that this is going to be a good card. So y'all watch out for Cerulege. And this is something, like I said, something that I'm looking towards. I'm gonna try it out a little bit before the next season comes out or the next rotation comes out. But Cerulege is looking kind of nice. Next card I want to talk about is Blaziken EX. Blaziken EX is actually not out yet, but Blaziken EX is another one of those cards similar to Cerulege where I feel like it's like a ramping card. You know what I mean? Once you get energy in the discard pile, it's gonna be hard to win the game versus this deck. I feel like because you'll never really go without energy. When you're playing a deck that takes, let's say, 1 to 2 energies, if you don't have it in your hand, you have it in the discard pile. If you have one in your hand, you have another one in the discard pile. That's 2 energy. Boom, you're attacking as soon as you come out. I feel like this deck is going to be, or this card is going to be really good, or at least maybe not really good, but I feel like it's going to be good in the sense of just energy. The problem with it's going to be is a stage 2, right? The attack is 200, one fire, one colorless. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack, but I still feel like that's going to be decently strong because 200 as a second attacker isn't bad. You get to put you get a fire. Once again, you got any energy from your discard pile. You don't have to use it from your hand. I think that's pretty good for 200. Every 2 energy. And some cards that need that extra energy, you can discard the energy, doesn't matter. I got Blaziken, boom. It kind of act like a Gardevoir a little bit, except you can't place all of them, but you're placing it, no damage done. And I don't think it's going to be the craziest, but I do think for some cards it's going to make a difference in this game. So that's another card that I feel like as the game goes later, this card gets stronger. When you run out of cards, you can always pull cards from the discard pile. I just can't see it being. You don't have to be afraid to discard energy because you'll bring it right back. You feel what I'm saying? So, I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna go nicely with cards like Reverum, anything that you can discard cards to draw. I feel like it's gonna be good. So, that's another card I'm looking forward to in the rotation and that I really want to take a nice look into. Another card I'm looking at is a card we all know and love, Pidgeot EX. Pidgeot EX, man, when I first started playing this game, I played the Charizard starter deck, had Pidgeot EX, had Charizard in it, and I used Pidgeot EX, but I didn't really realize how strong it was until I got better at the game. Once I got better at the game, I was like, yo, I started playing this and I'm like, man, I could just search for whatever I want, just figure out, think about later, think about now, what can I use this, that. I mean, it just has so much power, this card. It's ridiculous. And this is a card that I'm looking towards playing next season for sure. I can't really see a world without me at least trying to incorporate it some kind of way. It's not guaranteed that I'll play it, but it's definitely a top contender for one of the cards that I feel like I will be playing as the season goes up. I'm actually excited to try this card in the next season because I just feel like it's going to be so good. And it already is so good, right? So I mean, why wouldn't I think that? But just for me, the type of way that I play, I'm ready to take this card and see what I can do with it. But once again, like there's so many more cards to go through, and I do feel like this is one of the ones that it does suit me, and I'm looking at it. It's Pidgeot is in my eyes, So yeah. So the last card today I want to talk about is Greninja EX. Greninja EX is a card that I've noticed has kind of gone under the radar, I feel like. And I just feel like it's gone under the radar because I see it as a powerful card personally. You're hitting for 170, right? And for 1 energy, 170. And you're able to search your deck for a card, put it into your hand. Same thing as Pidgeot, except it happens pretty much at the end of your turn. You can't do any action after you attack with it. But same thing as Pidgeot, except you're more so thinking ahead with Greninja EX. Then Pidgeot, you could think at the moment or ahead. And for 170 isn't bad. 170, 340, if you get 2 attacks off, kills pretty much anything in the game. And I think it going into fighting type, one shots a lot of electric Pokemon. I just think it's really, and colorless. And I think most colorless. I think it's pretty strong. I think it's one of those cards that needs a little time to shine, especially with the second attack. The second attack is the one that I'm really looking at. Mirage Barrage. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. So 3 energy, discard 2. This attack does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. I think that this card is really good, and that attack is really good because I'm looking at a lot of these cards that want to set up in the back, right? Like trying to get to stage 2, you know what I mean? Trying to get to stage 2, or just cards that use passive abilities in the background. And with cards going like Manaphy, I think that it's going to be really strong because you don't have anything to block those attacks. You do have one other card. I'll post it. I don't remember the name of it at the time, but I'll post it up so you can see it. But they block as well, but you got to get to stage 1 for it to have that same effect. And to be able to discard 2 energy and do 120 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, I think it's going to be really strong. The only issue I think is going to be how do we generate the energy with DTE being gone and cards like that. So that is going to be the only issue. But at the same time, I just feel like not being able to block this powerful attack and be able to do 120 to 2 Pokemon. I'm looking at Dracloak. I'm looking at like I said, this is stage 1s that's trying to get to stage 2s, knock it out in the back. You don't even have to touch the first Pokemon. Just go ahead and knock it out. You know what I mean? Knock those 2 out and start to really tear into the opponent. So yeah, I'm looking at Greninja EX as well. I think he's going to be very strong. I think he's going to be actually strong with the card I talked about earlier, Blaziken, because Blaziken does generate him energy. And I've seen a couple of decks that's trying to use him, but I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like Greninja EX is going to go into this season. He's going to be pretty strong. I think he's going to be stronger than he was for sure. I think he was already decently good. Couple people had played him, a couple notable placings, but I think that this next season he's going to shine a little bit more, as well as the other cards I talked about today. And yeah, so this was part 1. I'm going to go over a lot more cards that I think that is going to be good and cards that I'm kind of looking at playing. And yeah, so thank y'all for tuning into this video. Let me know what you guys think about the cards I talked about. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what y'all think. Any other cards that you guys might think would be really good. And other than that, subscribe to the boy, because as always, it's free 90 free and it helps your boy out. Peace.